are the last vehicle to make it on the ferry. Charlie in here. No kidding. This is the prop wash from the ferry slowing the boat down as we're entering into the Kingston ferry terminal. And there's the ferry terminal there, lit up at night. This is the Hood Canal floating bridge. We're driving across that at night going to Port Angeles. And since we got into Port Angeles on the late side and we didn't have reservations or anywhere to go, we just pulled into Walmart and stayed at Walmart. Walmart boondocking. We went in, got some supplies and food for dinner, and then also stuff to have on Saturday and Sunday. This is a sign I thought was kind of funny. Welcome Canadians, Crab Fest this way. That's the line for getting into the Crab Fest. If you wanted to get crab, you had to be in line. Otherwise, there are a lot of other vendors that you could just walk right in and go to. You can see it's pouring rain. Nobody's in the outside seating areas. We had a little bit of a river flowing down at the entrance to the Crab Festival. Water flowing everywhere. This is a giant jellyfish. Lots of art hanging from the tent. I think it's like a 3-ring circus tent, kind of like what they used to use for Teatro Zanzani, and it worked pretty well, kept everything dry. That's the giant octopus. There's our dinners. We got 2 whole crab dinners, $58, and then we also went and got macaroni and cheese with crab and salmon. It was really good. This is my umbrella. Kelly was using it and turned into the wind the wrong direction, and the umbrella blew out. It'll be a good part of a Halloween costume. This is in our campsite. You can see the wind has swept the trees a little bit. There's the truck camper, and our campsite was located right next to the day use camp area, and so we had a fair number of people walking by. But it was a nice place. And this is the inside of the tent. You can see all the art objects suspended from the ceiling. Lots of food vendors there. That's what I like about this festival is the food is real food. It's not vendors selling eat stuff. These are actual restaurants from Portage's city that are coming and making real seafood recipes. So it's a very well supported theme for the crab and seafood festival because they actually have crab and seafood. A lot of people, it's hard to find seating for ourselves, but we did finally get some in, not in the main tent, but in the side tent. We also had, for dessert, we had little pies. I got pumpkin pie, and Kelly got a pumpkin pie, and I got the apple pie. They were very good. You can see how windy and rainy it is here. There's the lookout tower at the end of the pier. It's kind of cool to climb up that thing and take a look at what's going on around the harbor there. Oh, that's a nasty wind. You okay?
Oh my God!
So now we're driving through the Salt Creek campground. This is looking out from the RV area onto the Strait of Juan de Fuca, and out across the way, a long way off, is Victoria, somewhere along that shoreline in the distance. That's Vancouver Island. You can see it's been raining and pretty wet out there. We like to camp over in the standard sites because it's a lot quieter. You can see that the RV section, it's nice, it's on a hillside, everybody's got a good view, but it's packed in. There's kids screaming, fires going, lots of smoke, lots of noise and commotion. We stayed there once and for one night, and the next night we moved over to the standard tent area where there's no power. It doesn't matter for us, we're in a truck camper, so we've got batteries and propane and everything. That bus was a really neat bus. Yeah, somebody who worked real hard got that. This is the road heading over to the camps area, standard campsites, and it's just much more peaceful on this side. You can see out here into the Strait of Juan de Fuca again. There's a lot more trees and undergrowth on this side here covering things. You can see all the leaves are starting to fall on the ground and all the trees are starting to turn color, which is one of the reasons that we went on this trip to begin with, was we wanted to get a good feel for the fall colors. So we're going to take a right turn here, and we go past these folks in the trailer on the left and a motorhome on the right. And these people had their obnoxious loud generators running all day, all night. And it seems to me to defeat the purpose. We rely on solar power to keep our batteries charged, and then We just don't need the TV or anything. We get by with, we get out of the truck camper, go hiking and do stuff. We don't hang out inside and watch TV. That's not the reason for going out camping. What did you say our number is?
63.
A lot of people come to this park for scuba diving. There's a day use section coming up here on the right, and people will park there and hike down to the beach on the stairs and go scuba diving. There's a bit of a drop off about 100 yards from shore. That's our campsite right there, and so we're going to turn around and get into that here in a minute. Okay, this is our camp spot. Kind of a little window through the trees. It's kind of a dark one with a lot of trees over us, and it's also packed in here. We have a table here. Up there, that mound covers a machine gun bunker, and you can just barely make it out through there. So we do have a nice view from here, looking out onto the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Tide is down right now. You can see that it does get windswept in here by the shape of the branches. So here's the rest of our campsite. There's a truck camper. There's our neighbors packed right in behind us. Tent camping, that's going to get wet. The last time that we were here, there were inches of water on the ground under all the tents. We're also camped right here at the turn. So there are more campsites down that way, and Tongue Point, which leads to rocks that go out into the strait a little ways, but you have to be careful because the tide comes in and they can be under 3 to 4, 5, 6 feet of water, leaving you stranded and wet. This is the day parking area right next to us. It's probably why there were only 2 spots available when we made our reservations, and this is one of the 2. And this is the propaganda board. Life within the tide pools. This is the geological marker defining the border between the United States and Canada. Let's see where you're Tongue Point reference marker. Turning point 10 of the United States and Canadian boundary between the 49th parallel and the Pacific Ocean is 8,358.5 meters north, 13 degrees 10 minutes 28 seconds east of this monument. North American datum of 1927. Looks like this marker was made for the Treaty of 1908. Oh my God, a rainbow! Oh, I'm gonna cry. When the tide is down, there's a lot of interesting tide pools with sea anemones, barnacles, starfish, all kinds of little critters floating around. Here are some sea anemones. They're very small. They're about 1 inch in diameter, maybe 1.25 inches diameter. Let's see if I can spot something else in here. Just now starting to come in, and this area here is full of mussels, so I don't want to walk on this. All I do is get smashed, and we don't need to smash anything. So yeah, very cool indeed. Like it just kind of drops off from here, and those are all the kelp beds out there.
boy. Oh my.
We stopped at a day-use park on the northeastern end of Crescent Lake and went walking around. They have some really nice big old trees and rock formations there. This rock here has a hole in it that I think is from a tree that was in the rock when it formed. It's a sedimentary rock, and you can see the rocks and mud that formed around the tree that has long since decayed and disintegrated out of there. It has a bunch of different trees that are going into fall colors mode, so it's a really pretty place to just walk around and look. That's the shoreline of Lake Crescent, and this is the picnic area of the park. It's a big, deep, beautiful, clear, clean lake. And that's more the shoreline beach access. This is the truck camper parked up along the fence railing next to the beach, and we made some lunch while we were there. Sausage, egg, McMuffin with cheese, basically. And that's our view out of the truck camper as we're eating lunch. This is the Seattle skyline as seen from the ferry home from Bainbridge Island.